Hey, what's up everybody? Chris Souter, Slender Cat Outdoors, back with you again today. And today, we're going to be talking about the Yupik from Jackson Kayaks. I'm going to be telling you guys what I like and what I don't like about it, show you guys how I have mine set up, and hopefully answer a lot of the questions that I've been getting about this kayak and how I have it set up and why I have it set up the way I have it. So stick around, let's get to it, let's have a little fun. So a few details to get us started about the Yupik. Yupik is a little over 12 foot long, it's 35 inches wide, has a capacity of about 425 pounds, and weighs 89 pounds when you first buy it. Now, the way I have mine set up right now, without me in it, weighs a little over 100 pounds. Now for me, I picked and chose this kayak because I wanted to fish from it, but I also mainly wanted to get it for the family fun. Just out kayaking, enjoying a lake with my wife and my little girl. Now, my little girl gets on here with me, and she's got this whole front open deck to move around. As you guys all know, my little girl is very active and all over the boat, no matter if it's this boat or a big boat. So knowing that I was going to have my little girl on here with me a lot, being stable and safe on the water was my #1 priority, right? But I also wanted to fish, and I also wanted to fish on rivers and different lakes and streams and things like that. So I wanted to have a lot of different options. And the Yupik is not only wide open, but they had this unique rail system all throughout the boat. And it gives you so many options. I have a battery box up front, that 2 holes drilled in the bottom that mounts solid to this track system right in the center. And then that allows me to open up things on the side for like a sonar, rod holders, cup holder, foot pegs, so many different options. I even have mounts for my GoPros. I have a mount up here for my phone that's just glued to the battery box, but I also have a mount that screws on the 1/4-20 thread of these Yak Attack T-slot bolts that just simply slide into the track. You tighten the bolt down, and then you can mount whatever you want to onto that. And your imagination is your limitation on this. There's so many different things. On the rod holders, that is something that I've been getting a lot of questions about, is how I have these rod holders mounted to it. These are just the Stampede style of drifting rod holders. I like these, and I like the 535 as well. But these are just a square block of aluminum, just a standard mount that you can get from Monster Rod Holders that I drilled a couple 1/4-20 bolt holes through and bolted them on to the track system using these T-slot bolts from Yak Attack. And it's super strong, you know, the rod holder itself. Now that brings me to one thing that I wish Jackson Kayak would kind of change up. In the track system, all you have are these little Phillips head screws that hold this whole track system on, and you can see how loose that is. Now I have to continuously take a screwdriver and tighten those up every time I want to go fishing. I have not had one come off yet or lost any of the screws, but that's just one minor detail that I guess, or complaint, that I could have about this kayak. Now here in the seating area, you guys can see I love my rig wrap stuff. Get that paddle out of the way. Now these rig wrap saddle cases are something new from Rig Wrap, and if you guys have not seen them, I highly suggest you look at them. These actually clip on to the 4.0 seat from Jackson, and I have this in the high position, which allows me a lot of things that I want to cover as we go through here. But these saddlebag cases come apart. I have one here and one on the back, which I'll show you in just a minute. But there's just so much room to keep your rig wrap cases, gloves, you know, in case you want to weigh something. I keep a lot of my camera gear in here. Floats, this time of year is a really good time to use floats. Quick tip, I know this is a kayaking video, but It's also a Tackle Talk Tuesday video. This is a quick snap release float. It's got the pigtail top on it, and you can set it to the depth you want it. Check these out. These are super good floats. You can buy them at tacklebandit.com. But we got that kind of gear in here. We got some first aid stuff. You know, it's just a good place to keep a lot of different gear, you know, sunglasses, all that stuff. Now, underneath of the seat, as you can see, there's a lot of room underneath here. But I have a basket. And in the basket, I got stuff like my knife, pliers, scissors. And as you can see, I've got things tethered up now because I have lost not one, but 2 pairs of grippers, and I have another pair on the way. But Slender Cat towel, if you guys do not have a Slender Cat towel, you need to go to slendercat.fish and order you some Slender Cat apparel, shirts, hats, shameless plug there. But that fits nice underneath there. Now, one thing that I really like about this kayak is, you know, this is a cell phone case. I got it hooked to the seat, but there's a nice place already molded into that. They have tackle trays where you can fit tackle trays molded into the side. So if you know you're going to be using a lot of different tackle, maybe you're going to change something up, those trays fit right in there, super easy to get to, really nice and secure. Okay, I had a smart man that's been kayaking for many years tell me to keep a knife handy at all times, so I zip tied a really sharp knife right here just for safety reasons. So moving on to the back, as you can see, I got another rig wrap case. It's got a nice place to keep your toilet paper. It's actually supposed to be a drink holder, but it is now the official toilet paper holder for the kayak. Snugs right in there, tighten it right up. Nice place to keep your leader line. These rig wrap cases, I can't talk enough about them. And one thing I want you guys to know right off the bat, I have zero affiliation with rig wrap, other than I just like to promote good stuff that works good. And this is one of those cases where it's a good product that you guys should try out, okay? This rig wrap in the back actually holds, I've got 1, 2, 3 planos, some paper towels, a multi-tool kit, a 3/4 inch wrench for my rod holders, flashlight, toilet paper, leader line, you know, all that stuff. Okay, now one other thing I want to mention is I done all this stuff out of pieces and parts that I kind of had laying around the garage or in the garage. Okay, I did buy a couple rod holders to go into this milk crate. This is a piece of PVC pipe that I have my anchor inside of, stored inside. Now, one quick thing that I've seen a lot of people talking about kayak anchors and how these anchors will twist whenever you pull them up off the bottom. So one thing that I did that I don't know if anybody else has thought about this or not, but if you haven't, it's a very good tip and it's worked very well for me, is I added a real big swivel inside, you know, in between my anchor line and my anchor. And then I can also just unhook it with that carabiner, okay? And then this just stays, stored into that PVC pipe, which was a piece of extra PVC pipe that I had from where I had to fix my sewage line, so worked out pretty good. But that is actually a swivel off of an old cast net. So a lot of your older cast nets, whenever you tear them up, rip them, those lead lines are good for docking ropes, and the swivels are actually good for things like this. Okay, but this milk crate is just a old milk crate that I had laying around. I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on a fancy milk crate until I kind of figure out how I want things laid out. I wanted to kind of do it on a budget until I figured out whether I was even going to like it or not, and then kind of go from there. But nice place to put your PDF. On this side, I've got 3 more rod holders, which was just the 3 set that I bought for a boat a long time ago, and I broke one of where the bolts go through, but was able to refurbish it and use a couple big washers and get it together on there. Now on the milk crate, all I did was just use a couple straps, one on each side, to hold it on there. Worked good. Don't have to worry about it coming off. I actually leave this milk crate in there while I'm going down the road. Leave the seat up while I'm going down the road. I haven't had no issues yet. May not be the smartest thing to do. I do take my rods out just because I don't want to lose them. This is a 535 monster rod holder. You can see I just used, this is actually half of a rail brace that I had laying around. Had broke or lost the other half. Drilled a couple holes in it, put a couple T-bolts in it, and it works out just fine for this. Got a anchor tie off back here, which I need to go around and cut these screws off the tops. I have found that things get snagged on these pretty easy, and I don't want to lose a big fish because of me not cutting the bolts off or taping them up or something like that. Now on the back of these seats, they got what is called a molly system, which is really nice just to hook different things. Actually come with a small tackle bag on the back of it, but these saddle bags from Rig Wrap, I really like them. You can stuff a lot of stuff in them, keep things organized, and I've said it before, I know you guys have heard me say it, everything has a place, and if it's in its place, things happen a lot smoother and a lot safer. So there you have it, folks. That's a look at my Jackson Yupik. If you guys have any suggestions on things you would like to see me put on here, I got a lot of ideas. I really want to try to get a trolling motor put on here, but I did find out that if I put a trolling motor on it, it voids the warranty. So I'm kind of in limbo on whether I want to do that or not, but it's kind of hard for me not to try to put a trolling motor on this thing. So that's something I'm going to do in the future. A lot of you that watch the channel, you're kayak fishermen yourself. So leave your tips, things that you see that I have done to this that maybe I shouldn't do for somebody else that's watching it just getting into kayak fishing. Give them some tips and tricks as well. Leave all that stuff in the comments. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this helped you guys out. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And I really hope that you guys are enjoying the kayak videos that I'm doing. If you do, make sure you hit that subscription button. Give me that thumbs up. If you get a chance, share the video. Till next week, I want to thank you guys for watching. God bless, and keep it on the water.